It's been, I can feel it's being pulled around.
Hello, Mike Bradley. Hope you are doing well as always. So, flying with your guitar, traveling with your guitar. It can be a very scary thing to take your guitar onto an airplane. It's something I have done many times, but every time I do it, I always get the same jitters, nerves, start overthinking everything, and I'm like, oh God, please just don't destroy my guitar. And last week, I had to fly with my guitar again. I was booked to do some shows over in the south of France, which was very nice, and I had to take my gear with me. Luckily, I just could take a little small pedal board, which I could fit in my hand luggage, and I had to take an electric guitar. Now, on this trip, I wanted to try and gate check my guitar. In the past when I've flown, I've always taken it in its hard case, just the standard hard case what it came with. Usually I'm flying with a Fender guitar of some sorts, either a Stratocaster or a Telecaster. So I just take it in its hard case it comes with. It's usually always fine, though last time I flew, when I picked it up, it obviously must have smashed onto something on the corner, and a bit of the hard plastic was missing and just the white foam was exposed. But the guitar was fine, you know, that's life. It's not a big deal. But this time I decided to gate check my guitar, in case you don't know what that is. But you know, you basically take it all through passport control and whatnot, and then just before you get on the plane, you would hand it to someone and they place it into the plane. When all the other luggage has been placed in, my guitar is then going to go on top, hopefully, and all will be all right. And it just skips out that massive obstacle course or when you got to put it in oversize. Now, you may have seen on Instagram, I posted some videos doing this, and I got a few comments because I chose to take this. Okay, now I should say this is not a product placement, this is not an advertisement or anything like that. This is the case I have. This is a Reunion Blues Continental, I believe it's called. I've had it for a good couple of years, or a good few years actually. I got it for a Christmas present, and it's a really great case. Mono also do really great cases. Lots of my friends have got monos. I don't, but I'm sure I will at some point. But this is a lovely case. It's Reunion Blues, and I thought I'm going to take this because if I turn up at the airport and I was flying with EasyJet. And if you're from the UK, you know that EasyJet are anything but easy. They should just be called hardjet. But I was flying with them, and I thought if I roll up with a hard case, 1,000,000,000% is going to have to be checked. And which is fine, but I really wanted to try and gate check it. And in the past, I've always kind of wimped out. And I'm like, no, live and vow. I'm like, no, I'm going to put it in its hard case. So I thought if I take it in this, I would stand a better chance gate checking it. A very 1% slim chance of being able to take it on as hand luggage, but I knew with EasyJet that would not be the case whatsoever. But I thought if I can't gate check it and they are a little bit strict with me, I could live with myself knowing that it might possibly be okay going in this. Now I should say, the guitar I chose to take was this guitar, my Bradcaster. If you're a viewer from a few years and whatnot, you will recognise this guitar. This is my Bradcaster, which with the help from Darren from Daniel's Guitar, put this together kind of during lockdown. It was my lockdown idea, but great guitar. Scarily, I can't believe this is now 4 years old. But you know, my first tip, number one tip when flying, if you're going to gate check, if you're going to try and gate check a guitar, maybe think about taking a guitar you're not super sentimental about. Now, I would have been upset, obviously, you know, spoiler alert, the guitar survives, but I would have been upset if anything happened to this, but I could live with myself if it did. If it was one of my other guitars, I would have been a little bit upset. If it was one of my other Strats, my Eternal Strat. This is kind of my number one guitar now for last year and a bit. And I wanted to take this, but I just didn't want to take that risk with gate checking. So I thought this guitar, in this, surely it'd be okay. When I got to the Gatwick, I should say as well, the day before getting there, I sliced my finger open My first finger as well. Luckily it's all pretty much here. Well, I say sliced it open. It was a salad chopper, which I was drying, and it took 2.5 hours to stop bleeding. And then I did a gig that day. Actually, I'll show you this picture. If you're squeamish, look away right now. But that was after 15 minutes of playing the guitar on the Bradcaster actually as well. But anyway, so day before, traveling, had a gig, slipped my finger open, had 4 hours sleep, got to the airport, and I tried being my as charming as I possibly could be on 4 hours sleep. And went to the EasyJet desk, and there was 2 ladies what greeted me. There was a younger girl, probably late 20s, early 30s, and there was an older woman, probably mid 40s. I said to them, oh hi, you know, is it possible please, I'd like to gate check my guitar. I had it on my back, because another reason why I wanted to take this is that whenever you get to the other side, it's always a pain lugging the hard case around, where if you've got a gig case, not a gig bag, I'm going to call this a gig case, because it's so, like I say, this here, you can't really bend, right? Now, this is a gig bag, and, you know, if you take this on a plane, you're asking for trouble. That's just, you know, that's not going to go anywhere. But, and sorry, I should have said this earlier. Actually, I've still got the tag on it. With this, obviously, it's very comfy inside. It's got a little neck thing there, which will attach, make sure the neck's nice and snug in there. It's very, very sturdy. Very, you know, that's why I'm calling it a gig case, not necessarily a gig bag, because a gig bag is like I've just shown, you know, very flimsy. So that's why I wanted to take this, because I can just, it's easy to get around when I'm in the other country, you know. So I rolled up and I was like, hi, is it possible please to be able to gate check this, you know, I didn't want to just walk through. I thought I'd be polite and ask, you know. And the younger girl kind of smiled and said, yeah, that should be fine. And as she said that, yeah, that should be fine. And she kind of drifted off on the fine. And the other lady there was just super stern. She was like, have you paid for luggage? And I said, yeah, it's all been paid for. But I was just hoping if I could gate check it, please. You know, I understand it might have to go in the hole, but I was hoping if I could gate check it. Have you got speedy boarding? And I said, no, I haven't got speedy boarding. But, you know, I was just hoping I could gate check it. I think you have to go in the hold. Now, bear in mind, there's people with buggies or strollers, you know, which are kind of sometimes the same length as this, right? They're fine. Some of them even have it as hand luggage. But she was, you know, super stern, and she said, can you just weigh it? So I went over and weighed it on the thing, and then they were talking, and the younger girl said a couple of times, oh, it's okay, you can gate check it, and she just kept shaking her head in this kind of very angry look. Weighed it, and the younger girl came over, or younger lady, I should say, sorry. She said, yeah, unfortunately, this is going to have to go as oversized. I was like, oh, okay, there's nothing, no little thing we can do. I said, with probably a cheeky grin like that. And she said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, oh, I'll take it. And I just did that. I take it. And she said, yeah, I'm sorry. I said, all right. So I had to walk over to the oversized belt, and bloke was there, handed in my guitar. And it looked so small as well. It looked really small next to, you know. And I just, you know, gave a little salute and just thought, please, you know. Now, I should say as well, I've got an Apple AirTag in this case. I have it in a load of my stuff. Tip number 2, if you're going to fly with your guitar, get an Apple AirTag. It's one of the best technology inventions of this century, I would say. It's really great. Especially if you've got your instrument, or if you've got luggage in general, put an Apple AirTag in there. It just offers peace of mind. I just leave it in there all the time. I've got it in a secret place where no one can find it. And yeah, it's a lovely peace of mind, so that if God forbid it was left at the airport or somewhere else, I would know where it is. So Apple AirTags are a must in 2024 and beyond. So yeah, did that, hunted out plasters and was trying to find some super glue to be able to glue my finger, which I completely forgot to get. And then when I got to France, I couldn't find any glue either, never mind. And then when I got to the other side, here was my reaction.
I haven't touched it. Has she? Oh, it's been, I can feel it's been pulled around. Oh.
State is it in?
It's kind of in tune. Now I've got to learn how to play with 3 fingers. It's alive.
So it was fine. Again, I could, like you saw in the video, I could see it being tugged around a bit on the strap, but it was absolutely fine. And that's another thing I've just realised as well. Like in the past, when you put it as oversized and then it doesn't come out where the other luggage comes. Sometimes I remember flying to Jordan once, and we were waiting there for ages. All the suitcases came, our stuff didn't arrive, and then the keyboard player just walked around the corner and all our gear was just left on the floor in the airport. And this was the case here actually. We came through passport control and then I walked straight past it, and Sam, the bass player who filmed that, thank you Sam, he was like, oh, there's our stuff, and it was over there. So it made it there, but I thought, it's gotta come back. So when I was coming back, I spoke to, there was another young girl on the desk, and I had a bit more sleep. I might have had 5 hours sleep at that point. And I, as politely as I could, as charming as one can be, said to her, is there any chance I could gate check my guitar? Explain the whole thing. And I think I did a little white lie and I said, I gate checked it coming out here. You gotta try it, you gotta try it. And she said, yeah, it's absolutely fine. So I was like, result, I can finally see what happens when you gate check your guitar. So go through passport and put it through the security bit, you know, and I remember it going through and I saw it on the screen. I thought, oh, I'll get my phone to film this. And of course my phone is in the tray, you know. And basically, as I'm going to board the plane, the same girl was back on checking the passports. And I kind of said hello again, and I said, I'll take it, someone will just get me before I board the plane. She says, yeah. So I walked onto the tarmac and literally about to walk up onto the plane. And I thought, should I try and just bring it on as hand luggage? Should I give it a go? But I was feeling far too polite and nice. I thought, no. And there was a chap on the tarmac, on the runway, but you know, on the tarmac there. And I just went up to him and said, oh, I've been told to gate check my guitar. And he said, have you got a tag? And I said, yes, which is still on there. And I just left him with the guitar. And I said, you're going to look after it, yeah? He goes, yeah. Well, it was français, you know. I was like, je parle anglais, and da-da-da-da. But I just left him with it, and I walked on the plane and just stared, and he's just standing there. You'll see a picture now. He's just standing there holding my guitar, and I remember I sat on the seat, and I was looking out the window, and he's still just there, and I was like, please put my guitar, please put my guitar on the plane. And then I think everyone was on, he was still standing there. I thought, oh God. And then I looked and he had disappeared, so one just hoped that it went on. And then so when I landed at Gatwick, I remember thinking to myself, because as I got off the plane, I spoke to one of the flight attendants and said, oh, I gate checked my guitar. Would it be with the luggage or would I better get it now? And they said, oh, it'll be with the luggage. And come to think of it, the guy actually said that as well, it'll be with the luggage. So then I thought, well, it's still gonna have to go through the obstacle course with all the other luggage, you know, but I just hope that it got placed on last so it wouldn't be quite as nuts. And then I went to where the luggage is and waited. All the other luggage started coming and I thought my guitar might be first, but it wasn't. So it's about not even a 5-minute wait probably. And then eventually it came. It made it. Let's see if she's in one piece. Yeah, she lives for another day. She's all right. She's all right. So it survived. It survived. It was absolutely fine. Again, you know, this isn't, I'm not being paid for this or anything like that, but fair play Union Blues. Really good case. Now, would I gate check and go through all that again? Yes. Am I in a hurry to do that again? No. So you know, I've heard so many stories of guitars being, you know, lost and damaged and headstocks broken, all that kind of stuff. Now, if I was flying with a Gibson of some sort, of my Les Paul, my 345, I would not try and gate check it. Certainly in this or anything, I would put that in a flight case, not a hard case. I would buy a flight case for it and do that, because Gibsons are just delicate souls. With a Fender type guitar, you can kind of throw them off the wall, you know, and they'll be all right. But it is a little bit like, oh, please be okay. But like I say, I just wanted ease of travel when I got to the other side. Now, I should say, again, the bass player, Sama, he had, I think it's called, it was an SKB Bass Case. I'll double check that and put it on the screen. And I do like the idea that basically it's a flight case, what you put your gig bag in. And then also it's got space if you want to put pedals and leads or whatnot in there as well. I think, I remember looking online, it's about £189 from Thomann, I think. But I think when I next fly, I might invest in one of those, because then you've got, obviously it's got to go in the oversize, you know, luggage. It's got to do that. I won't be able to gate check or anything like that. But it's in a very sturdy case. I was looking at his and it looks great. He's done numerous flights with it. And then it's got wheels as well. And then when you're on the other side and you get to your hotel, wherever you're staying, you can then just use your gig bag, your gig case, with the shoulder strap. So I think I might invest in one of those. I'm sure it's called SKB cases, SKB Bass Case. Let me double check. Yeah, an SKB Bass Safe, but it fits guitar bags as well. So I think I might invest in one of those. They seem really cool actually. So, you know, I would go through it again, but it can be a little bit, you know, and it depends on the airline you're flying with as well. Some airlines you can do it as a carry-on. Like I say, in this case, I was flying with EasyJet. That's what the company booked. And, you know, if you're a Brit, you know what EasyJet is like. There's some airlines where it's absolutely fine. And you can, a lot of people pay for a seat, you know, but that's quite costly doing that. So it all depends financially how you are. You know, in this case, the company was paying for me because I was booked out there to work, obviously. But, you know, it's the pros and cons of flying with your guitar. You know, if you're a professional musician, you got to fly. But not even that. If you want to go on holiday, you want to fly with your, take your guitar with you if you want to be able to play and whatnot. But like I say, if it's a Fender type guitar, they're pretty tough. If it's a Gibson type guitar or an acoustic, you're probably going to want to get a good flight case. But like I say, those SKB bass cases do seem really, really cool, and it's something I think I'm going to invest in myself. But this did hold its own very well. Like I say, that ain't going nowhere. So I had a few people messaging me on Instagram going, why are you flying with a gig bag, Mike? That's just, you know, suicidal. And it's like, no, this is okay. This would be suicidal. Putting this in the hold, you know, you don't want to be doing that. So what cases or gig bags have you got? Like I say, Union Blues, there's a mono gig cases you can get. Please let me know any suggestions in the comment section below if you've got a cool case as well, or if you've flown with your guitar, any tips you have, please share. It's always good to hear and to spread the word to all the other guitar folks out there. And talking of spreading the word, I now have a new course on my website on this very address, and it's a Pentatonic course, the ultimate Pentatonic course I believe it's called, and it's basically all about the minor pentatonics. So taking you from learning the 5 shapes all the way through to be able to travel up and down the guitar neck, not just thinking of the boxes, and that you can manipulate that guitar neck through 11 lessons on that course. So do check it out. It's on my website right now. And if you are a Patreon follower of mine, you're about to get a 35% discount code. If you go onto Patreon, you'll see. But yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. The ultimate pentatonic course. And yeah, I'm really happy with it, and hopefully it helps a lot of you out there. Anyway, happy flying if you are going to be doing any flying soon with your guitar. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. I've been Mike Bradley. You've been you. Thanks for the love. I'll see you in the next video. Mike Bradley signing out. Bye.
Faded away, made a wish on a shooting